Good morning, everybody. I know it's been a while since I've made a video, but life happens. World is gone bonkers. So, hope everybody is well. Now I want to talk to you about something that has affected my life more than this current little virus that it is that's going around, and that is tremors. Now, whenever they first started, they were just called the old person shakes, the inherited shakes, family shakes, and then they started calling it benign tremors, and then essential tremors, and then now they call it kinetic tremors. Same thing, same disorder, brand new names. So, what do you do about it? There's not a lot you can do about it. You talk to your doctor, get him to send you to a movement specialist, which is most of the time a neurologist that has the sidebar education of movement specialty, and they'll put you on some type of medication that'll slow down the shakes. Now, the tremors originate from the brain. Mine originate from an overactive synapse, the connecting wires. I got overactive wiring in the brain. Not a bad issue to have sometimes, but when you're focused on something, it's not a good thing because you tend to shake. It's common. It's getting more common every year. Over 200,000 cases a year start showing up, because most of them are hereditary. If you know somebody in your family on either side that shakes, you got a 50-50 shot of getting it. But they have come up with a lot of good advances for remedies. Not a cure, but a remedy, a fix. And one of them is to go inside your brain and put contacts in your brain and put a battery pack, just like they would a pacemaker, right about here. If you shake on both sides, they'll do both sides. And it'll regulate the overactive synapse and make it regulate just like a pacemaker would regulate your heartbeat, and it'll level things out. And my issue with that is what happens when the battery dies. You know, all of a sudden you're going to be flopping around like a fish out of water. So they do have ultrasound, focused ultrasound radiation, and that has been having good results. You have to err on the side of caution because you're lying there awake with this funny looking headpiece. It looks like something from outer space. But they're lying there awake. They do a little bit, see how your tremors are doing. Do a little bit more and see how they're leveling out, because the end result is supposed to be immediate. But they don't want to go too far, because what they're actually doing is burning out brain cells. They're actually killing part of your brain cells to fix this situation. And if you can live with it, that's great. I've lived with it all my life, but it has gotten to the point where I can't cut my food. I can't drink without a cup and a straw anymore. So they advance to the point where I have to get something done for quality of life. If you don't, you know, a lot of people make a joke about it. Let it roll off your shoulder. Don't take it the wrong way. Straighten people out, educate them. That's the biggest thing. And just explain to them what this is. Tell them that they got a 50-50 chance of getting it too. Maybe they'll, you know, step back and think for a minute before they criticize anybody for handshaking. But in severe cases like mine, it does pose a dramatic risk. You know, I could cut myself if I were cutting a steak. You know, cutting meat or cutting a stick of sausage for breakfast. You know, I could cut my finger. No biggie, but it's a risk that not everybody wants to take. So that being said, Let's see if I've covered everything here. Yeah, you do have to have a medical diagnosis for it. And it's silly because some people actually want to be diagnosed with this. That's what my doctor told me. So that they were trained to spot fakes. But there's something about it that you just cannot fake if you really do have it. But they have you draw circles on a paper, left hand and right hand. Have to draw straight lines, see if you stay in their lines. I couldn't draw a straight line before I had it. So drawing a straight line now is no way going to happen. Circles don't happen. And let's see. There's no lab test or imaging that they can do. Your brain is actually acting the way it's supposed to. It's just some pieces, parts are acting a little faster. And it can disable you. I mean, if you can't hold a job, like with mine, I shake so bad, can't hold some things, couldn't hold a camera. That's the reason I'm in front of the camera and I have it set up. Because for the life of me, I would not want to put anybody through me trying to video anything. It'd make you dizzy. So, I mean, it can be disabling. You can't make change at a register. You couldn't work at McDonald's flipping burgers because you would flip one and it'd hit the ceiling, you know. It's ridiculous. I mean, medication helps to a point, but when you get just so much medication in you, the body gets used to it and it doesn't do any good anymore. So they have to kick it up a level. And for right now, I can't do anything about it because of this virus, and our hospitals have put a non-emergency hold on any surgeries that aren't life-threatening. Well, it's not threatening my life. It's inhibiting it quite a bit, but it's not threatening it. Oh, man. It can affect your head, your voice, your arms, your legs, the inside of your chest. You might feel like it's fluttering. It's not a heart attack or nothing like that, because it'll just flutter for a second and then quit. Well, it's akin to muscle spasms. You know, if you think about it, how do muscle spasms happen? The electrical impulses are all of a sudden shot through multiple times. That's exactly what's happened. You know, it's really akin to muscle relaxers. Muscle relaxers do help a little bit. If you have a really bad flare-up of it, a muscle relaxer, if you're at home and you can cope with the side effects, they do help some. A lot of anticonvulsants help, anti-seizure medications. In the most dramatic case, Valium. You know, I haven't gotten that far yet, but that's because I want to remain functional and alert. You know, I don't want to be not shaking, but asleep in the bed all the time. I'd rather have to be awake and shake a little bit than not be aware of anything that's going on. The diagnosis, they check you for reflexes. They check your muscle strength. They check your ability to feel certain things. They check your posture, your coordination, and how you walk. Because like I said, it affects your legs. So you have to think about that. And we've already gone over the performance test with the circles and the lines. That some doctors make you hold a glass of water. And those are brave doctors, I tell you, because they're going to get wet. And a lot of them might do a scan to rule out Parkinson's disease because it looks just like it. It doesn't always act like it, but it looks, from the layperson's perspective, it looks like you got Parkinson's. And, you know, if you're catching a lot of flack from people you don't know, just tell them, you know, I just got a case of the Michael J. Fox syndrome or some crap. That'll get them off your back for a while. But only just so many things help. The the treatments. We can't really do a whole lot about treatment, but according to the Mayo Clinic, treatments are supportive care from family. That can go a long way, but that it also includes the family fixing you a drink in a cup with a straw, cutting your food for you, cooking for you, so you don't end up throwing things everywhere. Medications or anticonvulsants, like I already said, and beta blockers. A lot of people don't like taking those, but sometimes you have to, because they decrease the blood pressure. And, you know, most people have high blood pressure anyway, so it's not really an issue. But in my case, I have low blood pressure, so if I take them, it goes really low. Makes me lightheaded. And we've already touched on the tranquilizer type stuff, Valium. And some people opt for Botox. I don't. I mean, that's just nasty. I don't want to do it. And they try to use Botox for everything. So I don't even try to do that. There is some type of physical therapy. You can exercise. You use heavier drinking glasses, heavier utensils. You can put weighted gloves on your hands. I've got a pair here. They don't work that well, but I've got a pair here. It's weighted exercise gloves. If you can lift this is 2 pounds. If you can lift this, you could probably hold something still. But you got to get some good muscle strength in your arms to do that all day, day in and day out. And we've already touched on the surgeries. So I'm going to leave some helpful links in the description box. And hopefully it'll help somebody. Like I said, 50% of the population has this. Some don't even know what it is. Some just brush it off. Some treat it with alcohol, which is a big no-no. Because once you don't drink, it gets worse. So that's not an acceptable treatment. Not in my book. So anyway, I hope everybody has a safe day and a safe future. Take all this into heart. Check out the links on the bottom. And talk to your doctor. I mean, this may be a disabling condition for you, but there are things that they can do to help you with your quality of life.